Buck. We are back with a story from CNN.com. San Francisco officials propose CAREN Act, making racially biased 911 calls illegal. Now it's Karen, CAREN, not with a K. The CAREN Act, Caution Against Racially Exploitive Non-Emergencies, was introduced on Tuesday at the San Francisco Board of Supervisors meeting with Supervisor Sherman Walton. Excuse me. The ordinance name is a twist on Karen, the name social media gives people making racially biased 911 calls. And it's not just Karen, there are also other names like Becky that have become to symbolize the stereotype of whiteness, and Susan and Chad. The ordinance, similar to the statewide AB 1550 bill introduced in the California Assembly by Assemblyman Rob Bonita, making it unlawful and accountable for a caller to fabricate false, racially biased emergency reports. Using 911 as a tool for your prejudice towards marginalized communities is unjust and wrong. Racially motivated 911 calls aren't a new occurrence across the country, in spite of a recent uptick following the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man killed by police in custody in Minneapolis. Just a few weeks ago, a white hotel employee in North Carolina called police on a guest, a black man and her children. I'm sorry, a black woman and her children, who were using the hotel's swimming pool. And in May, a white woman called 911 on a black man who was bird watching in New York's Central Park. Bonito said the intent of AB 1550 isn't to discourage Californians in real danger from calling 911. This bill could protect millions of Californians from being targets of hate and prevent the weaponization of our law enforcement against communities of color. It goes on for a little bit, but essentially what it comes down to is the proposed human rights ordinance would give 911 callers that are making false reports of that nature a $500 fine. Yes, indeed. So we've all seen the videos of Karens, and you know, it's not a new phenomenon. It's just we finally have a meme that makes it funny and makes us share videos because everyone's got a video. But have you seen the Central Park bird watching Karen video?
No,
This
but
woman it's like a poodle or something, and she has it by the collar, swinging this poor thing around. It's hanging by its neck. As she's on the phone telling this guy he has to leave the park because I don't know, because he's a black man in the park. And she actually gets on the phone. She says, "I'm going to tell the cops there's a black man threatening me." Like he's supposed to go, "Oh Lord and Mrs. Karen, don't do that, don't do that."
I just want to start off by saying that I am a huge supporter of of that of this Karen Act. Like it doesn't it does not sound like anything bad to me at all. I think that it's actually quite a good thing to give people who make false reports to the police a fucking fine. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I think the name is funny as hell. I don't see anything. I really don't see anything wrong with the Karen Act. I think that the only thing really wrong with it is that it is only being proposed in San Francisco. I think that there should be something on Capitol Hill for the Karen Act. Like that's just me. I mean, I didn't see the dog walking video. Did you see the video of the uh, Karen in the Victoria's Secret just like screaming and cowling and throwing an outright hissy fit? Went as far as to like faking passing out on the floor and having an emotional episode, screaming and just like literally, and the whole thing was started by her. She tried to hit a black lady, and the black lady was filming it the whole time. And you saw the white lady go up and like actually try to hit her. And as soon as the lady found out that she was on camera, she just started to freak out.
Don't record
Like,
me.
stop filming me! Like ripping at her hair, floor, like begging people to call the police and security because she's being threatened. And I'm just like, if anybody should be arrested, it should be you. Like that's like I actually, the first time that I saw it, I told caregiver Katie, I was like, turn this off. I can't look at this. Like, I actually like had to like turn my head. So no, yeah, Karen Act, great idea. Thumbs up all the way, every day.
Well, there's nobody to score there, so we'll just move on to our next story, Buck. And I found this one. I'm not sure if you've read it yet, but I had to share this one when I found it. This is coming from theblast.com. Walmart employee gets trapped in building. Boss tells him to stay there overnight. Sounds a lot like some of the places we've used to work. Uh, One Walmart employee had the scare of a lifetime. The worker took to Reddit's legal advice forum to ask what they should do. The employee was stationed inside the fast food restaurant, which is located inside many Walmart locations. While he was trying to leave, the gate seized and he was unable to get out. Both his direct boss and Walmart's head manager told him to wait inside the closed fast food restaurant all night until morning. The employee, fortunately, was able to use his phone to reach out for advice. Should he call the fire department? Would he be fired? Take a look at the situation as it developed below, because he was updating live on Reddit. If you've ever seen this kind of things happen, it's actually quite amazing when you see them. The employee began by posting, explaining the work inside the fast food restaurant of the Walmart. When he was ready to leave for the night, the gate seized and refused to open. When he called his manager, they informed him he was going to be stuck there all night long. I work at a fast food restaurant inside of a Walmart. I closed the gate for closing procedures, did all my closing duties, and now as I try to leave, the gate is seized and it will not open. I have tried, and others on the outside of the door have tried. It is not that I'm just too weak. I open and close this door 5 times a week. I called the manager, and I was told that I'll be stuck there at least all night long, if not longer if they can't get the door open in the morning. There is no emergency exit in the restaurant, and the inside of the Walmart, but I can't leave the restaurant. There's no windows either. I am entitled to wages for being there stuck in here all this time? Do I have any legal recourse for this? If I had some kind of a medical emergency in here, I'm not sure what I would do. I have diagnosed anxiety disorder, and this is certainly making it worse. Taking the advice from concerned users on the forum, the worker decided to call the Walmart head manager, who wasn't exactly helpful either. I called the Walmart head manager, and he said, unfortunately, there's nothing he can personally do aside from call my boss. I called my boss myself and said, if they can't get anybody down here to open the door, I'm going to call the fire department and have them open it. My boss made it very clear that I am not to call the fire department, as they will ruin the door, and they will be there first thing in the morning. If I am fired for being called the fire department to get out, is that wrongful termination, he asks. However, he realized there was no way he could stay stuck inside of a Walmart fast food location all night. I did call them as my boss refused to come in again. Here's hoping I don't lose my job. Fortunately, the local fire department arrived and made sure that the employee stayed with the employee until it was confirmed that he was unable to get out and was needed to leave safely. The fireman, I don't know this actual title, the guy in charge of the men who showed up at the fire department, called my boss and told him if he doesn't come down here and get something in action like calling a door technician or a locksmith or something, they will be cutting up the door. So he's coming in and going to figure out something. Some of the fire department will be staying here until I am confirmed out. If it's going to take a reasonable amount of time with the situation he chooses, they're going to cut the door out anyway due to safety concerns. Thank you, everyone. Fortunately, the employee was able to post his last update from the car as he was heading home for the night. Thank you for everyone concerned. I am out and in my car now. Unfortunately for my boss and the store owners, the door had to be cut as no locksmiths were available, and the door techs wouldn't be there until tomorrow afternoon, and it is 10 p.m. my time. The employee never said what time he did start his shift, but he did go on to say that if I'm fired from this event, it may take a second post referencing this one. Before addressing any concerns about emergency exits and stuff like that. I'm sure that something will be done, and there's no emergency exit in the restaurant. The fire chief was not happy about that. I have never had to call 911, and I am very hesitant, but all the comments suggesting so eased my mind, and it wasn't being overly dramatic. Thank you. I am safe now.
That boy ain't getting fired.
No.
No, he is not. At least anybody with even a fraction of a brain would not just not fire him, but would be like rolling out the red carpet, like, "Ooh, we're so sorry about this. Like,
Yeah.
how do we?
Here's a raise and a hooker. We're sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like, they should be handing this guy a cigar, giving him his own spot. Like, like, wow, you'll stay in there till we can get a lock tech. There's no emergency exits. I'm surprised the fire department even entertained the idea of calling his boss. And then the
Yeah.
fire chief outright saying how unhappy he was about their
Well,
exit back
you
there.
got the. I have never seen a fireman show up at a scene and not want to play with their toys. So the fact that they gave this manager a phone call to give him a chance to solve the issue on his own is amazing to me. But apparently he wasn't working fast enough, so they said, "Help at this," and they cut that shit open.
Yeah. You know, telling the fire department, oh, yeah, he's going to have to wait in here tomorrow afternoon, and there's no emergency locksmiths. Fire department's just sitting there like, wow, I hope this door wasn't expensive. and then the kid being worried about losing his job. Nah, buddy, I'll tell you what, I'd be fucking surprised. I would be surprised if somebody actually like had the cojones to fire you, thinking that, like, yeah, we fired him because he got locked in and wouldn't stay trapped for over, like, probably, over 12 hours. Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
not
totally
happening.
a fire. Yeah, you're
Not
not you're
happening.
not gonna get fired for that. You're not gonna get fired for that. Not gonna get fired for that. And if you do, let me know what name you're gonna change Walmart to. Because you'll own it. And remember the social liability podcast once you do. You know,
We could use your sponsorship.
yeah. I mean, like, I'm telling you, if you get fired, let us be your voice. We,
We truly are the voice of, I don't know, a past generation.
I, hey, you know what? I mean, like, if you're putting a dollar sign behind I can rally some troops. Oh, you'd be surprised.
so,
What a wheelchair and an open checkbook. Oh yeah, I can make some shit happen. But
so
now they're getting a 4.5 again from me, man.
isn't
The
the
only reason they don't get a 5 is because the kid didn't die. And because the fire department stepped in there, they saved you from getting a 5. Because if it wasn't for the fire department, you'd have been fucked all the way around.
yeah, it's insane that they even in what world do you think that is the appropriate answer? You're going to stay there till morning, and if we can't find anybody in the morning, you'll be there till we get you out. In this case, they already knew they weren't going to get anybody there till the afternoon of the next day. Fuck you.
Put yourself in the position of, because you actually are the boss, in some way, shape, or form. And if you had somebody calling you up on the phone saying, I'm stuck in an area, there's no emergency exits, I can't get the door open, there's nothing to do, it's late at night, I need help, what would you say?
All right. Well, first I'd ask if they were all right now, then I'd say I'm on my way. Even if I can't,
Right.
I can try.
And right. And the second that you get there and you realize shit's just fucked, who's the first person you're going to call?
My maintenance personnel.
Well, right. But I mean, like, obviously it would reroute itself to the fire department. Like,
Indeed.
it would never stay there overnight and we'll get you when we can would never be an option that would come out of even like a marginally below average boss's mouth. Like, no, these people get a 4.5. They have no regard for somebody else's life. The only reason they don't get a 5 is because the guy made it out. That's it.
Fair enough. Well, Buck, that being said, that brings us to an end of yet another episode of the Social Liability Podcast. I want to thank everyone who listens and tells a friend about the podcast, because Lord knows that helps us in ways you could not imagine. Just word of mouth. Say, hey, I got this cool podcast. You got to give it a listen. Got this guy named Buck.
Yeah,
That's
and a
that's
dude
that's
named Raz.
that's all there is, really. All right, folks. I am the Raspberries with my co-host the Buck, wishing you all a happy and safe week.